granniopteryx, granniopteryx. She knows the truth, she's linking every link.
Hello. Seemingly out of the blue, Keir Starmer announced a digital ID idea. This set everybody talking, and it did occur to me at the time that it was a particularly odd thing for him to do, considering there had been no national discussion about this beforehand. And of course, it did occur to me that maybe he did that because in that way, people would stop talking about the Morgan Mcweeny business, because the digital ID is a threat to all of us, whereas the Morgan Mcweeny thing appears to be a little hanky-panky going on financially behind the scenes and not actually impacting us directly, which of course it does do. But, you know, there's always this matter of public perception. So, although I dealt with the digital ID in my previous video, I'm still going to be talking about Morgan Mcweeny here because it says worse for Britain than the ID idea, actually. It's wholesale and deep-rooted and completely insouciant corruption in our governing body. Nearly, £750,000 in gifts to a Labour campaign group which is called Labour Together. In a letter to Parliament Standards Commissioner, Tory party chairman Kevin Hollinrake said details had come to light suggesting Sir Keir received polling and speech writing help from this group, run at the time by Morgan Mcweeny, now his chief of staff. And that means that the leadership of the Labour Party that we have now is directly down to this man and the amount of money he poured into getting this man elected. So it's worth looking into, isn't it? Okay, I'm Granniopteryx. Please like this video. Go on, click the like now. Yeah, right. Click the like now. Please share the video. Please subscribe. And if you want to contribute financially, don't beat yourself up over it if you can't. But if you do want to contribute financially, that's lovely. And all the links for doing that are in the description. All right, let's get on with talking about some really wholesale corruption in the Labour Party, which amounts even to more than these, what were they, £2,000 glasses that Keir Starmer got from Lord Ali. All right, so this is in the Telegraph, and it said Sir Keir Starmer's chief of staff ignored warnings from the elections watchdog that he had to declare hundreds of thousands of pounds in donations. He failed to declare almost £740,000 in gifts to his Labour Together campaign group between 2017 and 2020. And of course, this group helped propel Sir Keir to the Labour leadership. And it was fined for breaking electoral law more than 20 times. I don't know if that's non-declaring of funds. It might have been other things. It looks like the whole organisation had the feeling that the law does not apply to them. You see, there's something that's a big problem with the left, and that is since people on the left are so sure that they are absolutely right, they also have the accompanying feeling that anything they do in the furtherance of their aims, because they are, after all, on the side of the angels, then they are allowed to break all sorts of rules because it's for the greater good. We must have heard that phrase, for the greater good, a few times, mustn't we? Electoral Commission records seen by the Daily Mail revealed Mcweeny was warned he needed to declare the donations and that failure to do so would put him in breach of the law. So he knew what he was doing. but he was doing it anyway. And in recent weeks, Labour MPs have begun questioning his judgment, it says here in the paper, because he was the one who advised Keir Starmer to appoint Peter Mandelson as ambassador to the United States. Of course, the Conservative Party are, putting the knife in as much as they can, and Kevin Hollinrake has accused Mr Mcweeny of hiding the donations, and he's actually asked for the police to get involved. A Labour source said this was thoroughly investigated years ago and action was taken. And that's the problem. They are a lot of legal minutiae, which I don't understand where the lines are drawn. And I doubt a lot of people do. And that's what the problem is. We let it slip past because we actually don't understand it. Donations are very important for political parties. And we have to worry about who is donating to which political party and how much they are donating. And that's why that £740,000 is important. This is a website called Donation Watch, and this is a sort of chart of donations to Labour. So the union here, Unite, gave nearly £52 million to the Labour Party. Unison 27, GMB, is that the Boilermakers Union? Anyway, they gave 25. Union of Shop, Distributive and Allied Workers 22. These are eye-watering numbers. Communication Workers Union, and then Lord David Sainsbury gave £10 million to the Labour Party. Now, he owns a supermarket chain. And the supermarket chain will be buying stuff from farmers. Somebody who owns a huge supermarket chain will have a lot of influence on agricultural policy, wouldn't he? Just saying. There's this guy called Gary Lubner. I think he owns or did own Autoglass, a huge company that replaced car windscreens. And then there's another one here called Ecotricity. Now, Ecotricity is rather interesting. It's a British energy company based in Stroud in Gloucestershire, specialising in selling green energy to consumers that it primarily generates from its 87.2 megawatt wind power portfolio. If you notice, Ecotricity have been very generous to Labour, £6 million, the Lib Dems and the Green Party. But it doesn't look like they've been that friendly to the Conservatives. And that might be because it's these parties who are most interested in green energy or have made more of their policies, especially Labour, which seems obsessed by so-called green energy, which in my opinion isn't that green anyway. But is it entirely uncharitable of me to have the stray thought that Labour's obsession with wind farms might have something to do with the £6 million and spare change which has come to the Labour Party from Ecotricity? I may be completely wrong here. It just seems a little bit, coincidental. And then there's something else I did notice, and this came from a publication called Eastern Eye. Asian business leaders have emerged among the most prominent donors to UK political parties in the second quarter of 2025, new figures from the Electoral Commission showed. Among individual Asian donors, Kamal Pankhania and Harish Sodha stood out with £100,000 of contributions each. Pankhania's gift to the Conservatives in June and Sodha's support for Labour in April were the largest Asian donations recorded during the second quarter of the year. So not the £10 million donated by Sainsbury's, but still £100,000 each isn't bad innings. I pay for a lot of posters with the £100,000. This is another article in Eastern Eye. It says here, Labour attracts growing support from Asian business leaders. Asian businessmen have donated generously to the ruling Labour Party and the Liberal Democrats in the first quarter of 2025. Property tycoon Maqbool Ahmed was the biggest Asian donor, contributing more than $75,000, while Amin Hemani gave $50,000 and Lord Wahid Ali contributed $35,000 in January. Oh, only $35,000. The cheapskate. Meanwhile, Reform UK received donations from Mohammed Amersi and Basim Haidar, who each gave $25,000 during the first quarter. Labour donor Ahmed was the second biggest individual contributor to the party during the period, as he gave £75,000 in February. He owns a good chunk of Birmingham. And then Hemani, who donated through Scottish Labour in January, is a major shareholder in Fieldgate Properties, a London-based property development company established in 2004. So it looks like there are a lot of big-time Asian property developers who are donating heavily to the Labour Party. And then there's the London Hotel Group, led by directors Gauhar and Meher Nawab. The Conservatives too got donations. But from the names that I'm seeing here, Singh is a Sikh name here. Tejinder Chetal, that's a Hindu name. So it appears to me that the Hindus and the Sikhs are donating to the Conservatives, and the Muslims are donating to Labour and perhaps the Greens and the Liberal Democrats. And so with those sorts of donors, you might make up your own mind about the direction of policy that these various political parties are taking. Talking about digital IDs is a bit of a distraction. Of course, it has to be done. But I'd say that we have a bit of a problem with party donors in this country right now, and probably something we should be keeping our eye on. OK, till next time. You can help my channel by subscribing and clicking the notification bell. That's quite important. And by sharing if you're so inclined. Links to my other channels and to donation methods are in the description. But the best way you can help is simply by clicking like and notify. Thank you.